Like many young Christians, we didn't know what it truly was like to trust God with all aspects of our lives. As we matured in His Word, we began to trust God more and more, but not yet with our money, and we sure struggled because of it. We were living paycheck to paycheck, paying only the minimum on credit cards with no savings at all. We would get our paychecks and feel relief when the bills could be paid on time, but then that stressful, sick stomach feeling would arise 30 days later when they were all due again.
Finally, in 2008, we began to open our hearts to what God wanted all along. We started talking about faithfully tithing 10% on a regular basis no matter what. I will say that I wondered where it was going to come from when we were just getting by as it was. We prayed about it, and we just knew that what we were doing then wasn't working and that we were at rock bottom and we had nothing to lose. I went to write the first tithe check off the gross and was apprehensive. Patrick said to me, if we don't do it with a trusting heart, then we don't do it at all. He said God didn't want half our trust, He wanted all our trust. And it was then that we realized that God didn't need our 10% because it was His money to begin with, but that all He wanted was our trust in Him. Knowing in our hearts that we are trusting Him with our finances totally enriched all other aspects of our lives.
When God started to bless us in our finances, we wanted to learn how to be better stewards of His money. We believe God doesn't want us to be in debt, but rather trust Him for our needs and not some credit card or a bank. We learned to do a budget every month because we wanted to tell our money where to go and not have it dictate us.
During our financial peace class, our first step was to come up with a $1,000 emergency fund. I thought, yeah, right. I can't even imagine where we would come up with that, and I knew it would take a long time to save that. We went home and prayed about it, and 1 week later, friends that we had lent some money to 6 months prior and never really intended on getting back called to say that they had the $750 to pay us back. All I thought was, wow, God, you are amazing. We began paying our debts off and watching every penny. We only buy things if 1, we have the money budgeted for them, and number 2, if we have cash in our hands. We have a rule that we will wait 48 hours before considering any big purchases, and we discuss every purchase over $50 as a family. The day we paid off the final credit card was the most relieving feeling of our lives. We can't wait to pay the final mortgage payment on our house and be debt-free.
Now, anytime raises or unexpected money come our way, we no longer spend it on things we don't need. We first tithe, and second, put it towards the debt we have learned to hate. An example of our growth is when I got an unexpected raise at work. They called it a demo allowance per month, and in the past, the old Pat and Steph would have traded in one of our cars for a new one, probably with a higher payment. We knew exactly what God wanted us to do. We take the demo allowance and put it towards our mortgage, which should be paid off in about 3 years, in which point we'll be debt-free. We truly believe that this is all a result of completely trusting God, starting in November 2008. It is so refreshing and peaceful to know that a little faith in God makes money go much further than we can make it go. We see the light at the end of the tunnel and that we never used to envision. When we pay off our mortgage, at which point we'll be debt-free, we will then be free to help others and give more to God's kingdom. Praise God. Go church.